people who are applying for either graduate studies or even residency programs, or professionals in Yemen who want to pursue more of a research track and things like that. And sometimes using a research as a bridge to where you want to do next is a very important step for medical students who want to join residency programs, or any other professionals who are interested in that, or graduate studies back home. I don't think they have really a very good exposure to research and things like that. Having a committee that might oversee that and make it organized, and people may be available for students who may be seeking an advice, or seeking towards any research project, or they want to do research but they don't know how to start it. So at least to get some people to give them their starting point, mentor them through the initial part and things like that. You may make it along with the student committee and research committee, but I think to get somebody who more oriented to research methodology, and somebody who may be interested in that part, maybe make it easier for people who are seeking particularly that field. And medical consultation committee. I think every physician probably, or a pharmacist, or anybody in the medical field here will have, may receive in their WhatsApp or phone maybe messages from back home, at least 10 to 15 consultations per week. Just I have this person, family member, who been sick, and this is his labs, his CT scan, what we should do. And I think some of the times you don't know the informations really well, or sometimes it is a consultation about a disease or a condition that outside your specialty. So maybe we can organize a committee or a workflow process in which those consultations can be sent through the website, or through an app, or through WhatsApp application, in which there is somebody who kind of working on that flow, make them organized, requesting the actual needed informations and data, and then send those to a specialist in that area to give an advice about that particular situations. And those are very, sometimes those are very simple, questions and medical questions. And sometimes it is a very complicated things that you cannot actually, give an advice without seeing the patients and examining the patient and things like that. But those people are very desperate to have really sometimes a simple consultation to save them a lot of money and effort. Some of people, they go to a physician, they advise them to go to Egypt or to Jordan, and those people expend a lot of money. Some people, they sell their houses, their lands, their assets, just to go over there. And maybe it's a very simple question, something that we see it here every time, and may not need to have all of that hassle. You will not be able to help everybody with that process, but at least to streamline that process and give some advices for cases that you think it is reasonably within your comfort zone as a professional to give an advice for those people. Our probably colleagues and friends in Europe may have already probably an established platform in making those medical consultations, and sending them through an app and things like that. They go over there, and I think we either can mirror their work, or can join them in a way or another. It's just an idea and a committee that I think it is in need for people in Yemen, and maybe it's a way that you can participate there, or you can work with professionals on the ground, like somebody who goes in Yemen and work with the patients there. They have some cases they need an advice from a cardiologist, from a hematologist or oncologist, and they can send you those informations, and then you can save those people some time and effort in answering those questions for them. So I think that one of the committees that we are hoping in establishing, and we need to do it right. So there is some medical legal aspect of this, and this need to be very declared on the website and with the people they work with, and people who send you this advice or information they need, that you giving advice to the best of your knowledge or best of the information based on the information you received without seeing the patient. So there's some limitations and medical legal aspect of that we need to cover the basics. And lately, that education. So we came across one of our Syrian friends. Me and Nabi Islam have connected with him. They were doing conferences for residents or medical students back home on weekly basis. They bring some expert from United States, and then they just broadcast lectures. So they give them education about diabetes, education about workup of anemia, chest pain. Just for the local physicians who work there, they may need that education just to help them going through cases. And sometimes just establishing a case discussion. I saw this case in the office of this patient with a chest pain, and this is his EKG and things like that. So you can share and discuss an educational events for those people, either through online and most of them, online platforms, or sometimes, I think hopefully in the future, if things get better, we may be able to form more like a medical missions team that you can go and set up a training camp or a place in a place in which you provide hand-on training for some of the people over there. Some of those may be something that we can do right now, and some of those things that we need to work on to hopefully get there with time and with the help of everybody in this room. That's all.
Great. So any comments?